And in 2023, Ernst & Young said revenue from live events in India topped $1 billion for the first time. India is wild for music, but for years, the performers known for filling stadiums could not find suitable venues. So India's largest promoter and ticketing service has been working over the past few years to provide them, building custom stages at cricket stadiums, wedding venues, amusement parks, and empty fields. Book My Show now promotes 500 concerts a year and is raising $100 million to build India's first venues dedicated to live music. Bloomberg Money Watch at 26 and 56 past every hour. I'm Tracy Jonke for 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
WINS FM in HD1 New York. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Beautiful day, mostly sunny and nice, low humidity, 83 for the high. AccuWeather says clear, nice tonight, 66 in the city, mid to upper 50s in the more distant northern and western suburbs. We'll start the work week tomorrow with hazy sun. It'll be very warm. The high for Monday, 88. More people get their news from 1010 Wins than from any other radio station in the nation. Stephanie Patella, Caroline Ely, our service aides. Eileen McComber, our writer. Tanya Mercado at the editor's desk. And I'm Ashok Bala.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM, New York.
Good afternoon. It's 79 degrees at 1 o'clock. I'm Suzanne Cabucci, and here's what's happening. Did you feel it? Tremors from a magnitude 3.0 earthquake startled people all over the tri-state last night. Small aftershocks are possible today. One man is dead, another injured after shots rang out near a playground in Brownsville, Brooklyn. A 60-year-old man becomes the 9th person executed in Florida this year. That's setting a new record. A boater out for a ride near the Florida Keys finds 50 pounds of cocaine packaged up and floating in the water. A baseball card signed by Kobe Bryant, or a basketball card signed by Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan, rather, is going on the auction block, set to be the highest priced hoops card ever. Sports, the Mets are hosting the Giants, the Yankees are playing the Marlins down in Miami, the Liberty are in Connecticut. AccuWeather says beautiful today, lots of sun, low humidity, and a high of 83. Wins News Time 101. It's time for traffic and transit with Jody Bell.
It really is the best day ever, especially on the roadways, because everybody is using it to get where they want to be on this great day. In New Jersey, Richfield, expect delays on the 25 northbound right 46 and road jams 71 or Broad Avenue, Leonia to Bridge. It's about a 2-mile delay there. Then we have more jams in the Garden State Parkway to watch out for northbound between 149 and Route 506 and exit 150 Hoover Avenue, Bloomfield. Those Bloomfield exits, they get jammed up really quickly. Bronx is also a tough ride today. It's a slow go westbound between the Bronx River and out to the apartments. Eastbound Cross Bronx, seeing delays off the bridge. So you're getting jammed up to the apartments. Then expect delays at the Beacon ramps both ways as well. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Hudson River crossings into the George. It's 20 to 25 boat decks. You know what? Let's make it 25 to 30. 50 to 20 on the outbound side and 15 to 20 in at the Lincoln. Outbound's not bad. Holland is 10 to 15 both ways. Jody Dale, next report's at 111. 1010 Wins and 92.3 FM.
Well, if you feel something strange today, it could be a small aftershock from the earthquake in North Jersey last night. It wasn't big, but it woke people up from Manhattan to Westchester.
It's considered minor, but yeah, folks felt it. Joseph D'Angeli with the Wildlife Conservation Center was one of them.
I lived through Hurricane Sandy with 6 feet of water in my house, but this was completely different. It just sounded like something had fallen on the house and shaken.
Folks in the Bronx, Staten Island, and Upper Manhattan say they felt tremors, but in New Jersey,
I haven't heard Hasbro Pike mentioned this many times on the news since Frank Sinatra moved out. It really wasn't that strong.
And in Westchester County,
So there are trucks rumbling by from time to time, but we just knew from the very deep feeling that it was more than just a truck.
Amanda Alexander, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
Even in Bergen County, where the earthquake hit, there are no reports of any damage. The FBI is now looking for a second suspect who allegedly stole $5 million by scamming at least 70 people. 38-year-old Sue John Liu of Oklahoma is accused of working with 37-year-old Jin Bing Jang of Staten Island to pull off the scheme. The con usually started with a pop-up computer message urging victims to call a number where the scammer was pretending to be a tech company, a bank, or a government agency. The victims, who were mostly elderly, were falsely told their computers had a virus, and they were convinced to withdraw cash or gold for a pickup by a courier or supposed safe holding by a government agency. Jan was already charged in federal court. The hunt is on for Lou. Another fatal shooting in the Frogsneck section of the Bronx. A 23-year-old man is the third person to be killed by gunfire in that neighborhood in 1 week. Cops say Shane Sanchez had been arguing with a man outside his building in the Frogsneck houses before he was shot in the chest early yesterday morning. On Monday, 2 men were shot to death on Brush Avenue near Shelley Avenue in Frogsneck. And last Saturday, a 21-year-old man was shot and killed in the same desolate area. It's not known if there's any connection between the three. Anyone with information is asked to call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-577-TIPS. It's a win-win in Flatbush, Brooklyn. Every Saturday, there's a farmer's market at Flatbush Junction. And that not only provides healthy food options, it gives teens some real-world job experience. Tamara Jackson is the CEO of Elite Learners, which is running the market.
We get to pick what we want on our farmers market. So if we want to sell fresh sorrel, if we want to sell, apples, oranges, pears, grapes, we sit down and we actually order it.
Sounds like something to check out. The youth market runs every Saturday through November 22nd. Well, there are some spectacular things going on in space this month. Tonight, a bright red star known as Antares will be part of the sky next to the moon in the southwestern part of the sky. The Milky Way will also be directly overhead. So on a clear and dark night, it will be possible to see dust clouds and individual stars. Then, on August 12th, the Perseid meteor shower peaks. More than 100 shooting stars per hour can be seen traveling across the sky. It could be hard to see if there is a lot of cloud cover, of course, but it also comes after a full moon. Well, President Trump posting online that Senator Schumer can go to hell. The rant comes after the Senate left Washington for its month-long recess without a deal to advance dozens of Trump's nominees. Trump has been pressuring Senate Republicans to push through his choices, and agreements were close several times with Democrats, but ultimately fell apart.
In a fit of rage, Trump threw in the towel, sent Republicans home, and was unable to do the basic work of negotiating. Is this the art of the deal?
The Senate did approve one selection to be Judge Jeanine Pirro, who is now the U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia. But overall, this is the first time in recent history that the minority party hasn't allowed at least some quick confirmations. Well, you may be a registered Democrat or Republican, but how do you actually feel these days about your political party? A new poll takes a look.
Democrats and Republicans were asked in July to share the first word or phrase that came to mind when they thought of their own party. Overall, people held a dim view of both parties, with 43% viewing the Republican Party negatively, compared to 39% seeing the Democratic Party negatively. But Republicans were about twice as likely as Democrats to describe their own party positively, with 4 in 10 Republicans using words like patriotic or hardworking. About 2 in 10 Republicans had fewer positive things to say, using words such as greedy, for the rich, or corrupt. Donna Warder, Washington.
A 9th person has now been executed in Florida this year. That's more than any other state, and it sets a record for the most executions in Florida since the death penalty was reinstated in 1976. President Trump has urged prosecutors to aggressively seek the death penalty. Some GOP-controlled state legislators have pushed to expand the category of crimes punishable by death and the methods used to carry out the executions. And new airline seats from a lab in Colorado could change the way wheelchair users travel by plane.
For motorized wheelchair user Curtis Wolf, flying is no fun.
You're really paying for a lot of extra costs, a lot of extra hassle.
Hank Scott at Molden Lab Seating in Golden, Colorado is working on a solution for Curtis and others.
We basically slide it across. This is still a fully functioning seat.
In a new design, 2 airline seats become one. A wheelchair slides in and is secured to a plate in the floor.
You can do several rows. So you could have the entire, just say a disabled basketball team. You could have the whole team on one plane.
The lab is in talks with Boeing and major airlines.
And that was Steve Kathan reporting. Traffic And a beautiful AccuWeather forecast on that. Winds news time 1:11. It's time for traffic and transit with Jody Vale.
Let's go to the calls in Queens. About half an hour until game time at Citi Field. And we've got the delays westbound Grand Central from LaGuardia to Northern Boulevard, Ocean Meadows near Citi Field. Not much better on the LIE. Both sides of the LIEs will be jammed up approaching the Kew Gardens interchange. And eastbound slow from Woodhaven Boulevard. Westbound delays from the Cross Island. Heading Queensbound for the Whitestone and Frogs Neck bridges. Well, we have stop and go delays. Both spans. But the southbound Cross Island, it's just a crawl now off the Frogs Neck Bridge to the LIE Grand Central. So if you're taking the Whitestone Expressway, they look much better. Southbound Clearview also getting jammed up between the LIE and Grand Central. In Brooklyn, expect those jams inbound BQE between the Gowanus Merge up to the Brooklyn Bridge. And outbound, we're seeing the super slow between Flushing Avenue heading to Atlantic Avenue. East River crossings are busy, but moving. And here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels, Hudson River crossings. In at the George, it's now 25 to 30 minutes. Upper level, lower levels even worse. It's 30 to 35. 15 to 20 out, inbound at the Lincoln. 15 to 20, outbound's not bad. Holland Tunnel, still about 10 to 15 both ways. I'm Jody Vale. Next report, that's coming up at 1:21. 1010 Winds and 92.3 FM.
And now we want to get a check of the AccuWeather forecast with meteorologist Carrie Schwindelhammer.
I'll tell you what, weather-wise, we're looking pretty good, at least through this afternoon. A lot of sunshine overhead and humidity on the low side, getting up to 83 degrees for a high. Clear skies are comfortable tonight, down to 66 in the city, mid to upper 50s in the more distant northern and western suburbs. Tomorrow we may start seeing some of that haze from the smoke from the wildfires in Canada, reducing the air quality. Otherwise, sunshine, very warm, a high of 88. Humidity still not all that bad on Tuesday. Partly sunny and very warm, a high of 89. And warm and a bit more humid on Wednesday. Times of clouds and sun with a high of 84. It's 82 with sunshine, humidity 30%, and the wind variable at 7 miles an hour. Again, 82 going up to 83 on AccuWeather's Carrie Schwindelhammer, New York's weather station. 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM.
Coming up, a rare basketball card featuring two superstars is going on sale, and it could set a record. The manhunt is continuing for the Army veteran who allegedly shot and killed 4 people in a Montana bar. Michael Paul Brown is considered armed and dangerous.
The search for the suspected gunman now zeroing in on a mountainous area in western Montana. Officials say the suspect knows the area very well, but they don't have any reason to believe he's being helped by anyone. The Montana Attorney General emphasizing that they will not rest until Brown is caught. The U.S. Marshals, FBI, and ATF are assisting Montana officials with the manhunt.
And that was correspondent Melissa Adon. A boater in Florida made quite a discovery 5 miles south of Isla Morada in the Florida Keys. Police say the mariner stumbled upon 50 pounds of cocaine packaged up like bricks floating in the water. The Monroe County Sheriff's Office helped bring the 20 packages ashore. It turned out it was turned over to federal authorities. A rare base basketball card is going for sale later this month, and it could bring in a record amount of money.
This one-of-a-kind basketball card is signed by both Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. It features a game-worn patch from Bryant's Los Angeles Lakers jersey and one from Jordan's iconic 1997 championship run with the Chicago Bulls. The card is expected to net an astonishing $6 million at auction, making it the priciest hoops card ever sold.
And that was Stacey Lynn reporting. 2 years after voters approved the sale of marijuana for recreational use, people can now buy it in 6 locations in Delaware.
The openings of 6 other locations have been delayed by issues with local zoning. Only people 21 and older can buy marijuana in Delaware, and you don't have to be a resident. You can't consume cannabis in public, use it while you're driving, or bring it outside the state. And you can buy only 1 ounce or less of marijuana flower or buds at a time. Jim Wiest says now he can finally do legally what he's been doing for years.
I'm no longer a criminal. I've been dreaming of this since I was in high school 40 years ago. So you can imagine what this means to me.
Officials project 15% taxes on recreational marijuana will generate $40 million a year for the state.
And that was reporter Christopher Cruz. The sale of medical cannabis has been legal in Delaware since 2011. A check of traffic and weather are on the way. From the Nautical Mile in Freeport to the summer homes on Fire Island, we are Long Island's all-news station.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good afternoon. It's 79.